Have you ever felt a chill run down your spine? A sense of dread you just couldn't shake, like something was off? But you couldn't quite put your finger on it? What if I told you those feelings, those moments that make your skin crawl, might be more than just your imagination? What if they were signs, warnings whispered from the veil that separates the living from the hereafter? We're about to dive deep into 6 unsettling signs that, according to ancient lore and whispered superstitions across the globe, could mean your time is coming to an end. These stories, passed down through generations, speak of omens and premonitions, subtle shifts in the fabric of reality that hint at an impending fate. Remember, these are tales rooted in belief and folklore, passed down through whispers and shadows. Whether you believe them or not is up to you. But be warned, once you know these signs, you can't unknow them. You might start to notice them everywhere, lurking in the corners of your life. Imagine this. It's the dead of night. The world outside is cloaked in darkness and the silence is almost deafening. You're home alone, a storm raging outside. The wind howls like a banshee and the rain pounds relentlessly against the windows, creating an eerie symphony of nature's fury. Wind howls through the trees, rain lashes against the windows. The trees sway violently, their branches scratching against the house like skeletal fingers. Suddenly you see it, a pair of eyes glowing in the darkness. They pierce through the night, unblinking and mysterious. A black cat, sleek and silent, emerges from the shadows and crosses your path. Its movements are almost ghostly, as if it's gliding rather than walking. For centuries, black cats have been shrouded in superstition. They have been both revered and feared, their presence often linked to the supernatural. In some cultures, they're seen as protectors, good luck charms. They are believed to ward off evil spirits and bring prosperity to their owners. But in others, their presence is a chilling omen, a harbinger of misfortune, illness, even death. The sight of a black cat can send a shiver down the spine of even the bravest soul. Across Europe and Asia, the belief persists that a black cat crossing your path is a sign that death itself is stalking you. This belief has been passed down through generations, deeply ingrained in the cultural psyche. Some say it's a demonic familiar, sent to collect your soul. These tales often depict the black cat as a servant of dark forces, lurking in the shadows. Others believe it's a psychopomp, a guide leading you to the afterlife. In this role, the black cat is seen as a bridge between the living and the dead, a mystical escort to the other side. Whatever the reason, the sudden appearance of a black cat, especially during times of vulnerability or stress, has sent shivers down spines for generations. The fear is almost primal, rooted in the unknown and the unseen. Is it just an old wives' tale, a superstition born from fear of the unknown? Or is there a deeper truth hidden within these stories? A truth that we have yet to fully understand? Or is there something more to these creatures of the night, something that connects them to the unseen forces that govern life and death? Perhaps the black cat is a symbol, a reminder of the thin veil that separates our world from the next. You wake up in a cold sweat, heart pounding, your mind racing to make sense of the chaos that just unfolded in your sleep. The remnants of a terrifying dream cling to you like a shroud, refusing to let go. You were falling, drowning, trapped in a coffin, each scenario more horrifying than the last. Death, in all its chilling forms, was close, lurking in the shadows, waiting to claim you. But this wasn't just a one-time nightmare. It was a recurring torment, a relentless cycle that haunted your nights. This was becoming a pattern, a recurring dream that seemed to be pulling you deeper into its terrifying narrative, night after night. Many cultures believe that dreams are more than just fleeting images. They are windows into our subconscious minds. They are messages from our subconscious, glimpses into the spiritual realm, and sometimes they carry profound meanings. And when dreams of death become a recurring theme, it's often seen as a premonition, a warning from beyond the veil, urging us to pay attention. Some believe these dreams are your soul's way of preparing for the inevitable, a way to process the fear and uncertainty of the unknown. They suggest that our souls are trying to make peace with the concept of mortality, helping us face our deepest fears. Others say they're messages from loved ones who've passed, reaching out from the other side to warn you of impending danger or to offer comfort and guidance. Whatever the interpretation, recurring dreams of death can be deeply unsettling, leaving you with a lingering sense of dread. They force us to confront our own mortality, to acknowledge the fragility of life, and to question our existence. Are they just our deepest fears bubbling to the surface, manifesting in our dreams as a way to cope with our anxieties? Or are they something more, a glimpse into a future we can't outrun, a destiny that awaits us all? The answers remain elusive, but the impact of these dreams is undeniable. You're sitting in your living room, a fire crackling in the fireplace. But even the warmth of the flames can't penetrate the sudden chill that has settled over you. It's not a natural cold, not the kind that comes from a draft or a dip in temperature. This is different. It's a bone-deep chill, a sudden drop in temperature that seems to defy explanation. In many cultures, this unexplained coldness is associated with the presence of spirits. Some believe that when a spirit enters a room, it draws energy from the surroundings, causing a sudden drop in temperature. Others say it's the feeling of the veil thinning, the barrier between the living and the dead becoming porous, allowing the chill of the afterlife to seep through. Whatever the reason, that sudden, inexplicable chill can be deeply unsettling. It's a visceral reminder that we might not be alone, that there might be more to our world than meets the eye. You catch a flicker of movement out of the corner of your eye. You turn to look, but there's nothing there. Just an empty hallway, a darkened room. But you could have sworn you saw something, a fleeting shadow, a figure lurking just beyond your field of vision. These shadowy figures, often seen in glimpses and gone in a blink, have long been a source of fear and fascination. Some believe they are spirits, restless souls unable to move on. Others say they are interdimensional beings, accidentally crossing over into our reality. In some cultures, seeing shadows is considered a sign of impending doom, a warning that death is near. They say these shadows are drawn to those who are close to death, their presence a harbinger of what's to come. Whether you believe in ghosts or interdimensional beings, there's no denying the unsettling feeling of seeing something move in the shadows, something you can't quite explain. Silence. It's supposed to be quiet. You're alone in your house, yet you could have sworn you heard something. A whisper, soft and indistinct, like the rustle of silk coming from the next room. You freeze, holding your breath, listening intently. There it is again. A voice, barely audible, speaking your name. Hearing voices when no one is around can be a truly unnerving experience. In many cultures, it's believed that these whispers are the voices of spirits, trying to communicate with the living. Some believe they are messages from loved ones who have passed on, offering guidance or warnings from beyond the grave. Others say they are malevolent entities, trying to lure you into danger or drive you mad. Whatever the source, these whispers from the void can be both intriguing and terrifying. They remind us that the veil between the living and the dead might be thinner than we think, and that sometimes the dead have things they need to say. The news hits you like a physical blow, leaving you breathless and disoriented. A loved one, a person who is a constant presence in your life, is gone. Their absence creates a void that feels impossible to fill. The suddenness of it all, the raw, unfiltered grief, is overwhelming. You find yourself drowning in a sea of emotions, unable to find solid ground. But as you try to process the loss, a chilling thought creeps in. The mind begins to wander into dark territories, questioning the nature of their departure. What if their death wasn't just a tragedy but a warning, a premonition of something more sinister lurking in the shadows? In some cultures, the sudden and unexplained death of a close friend or family member, especially if they were young and healthy, is seen as a harbinger of one's own demise. It's a belief that adds another layer of fear to the already heavy burden of grief. It's as if the Grim Reaper, having cast his shadow over your loved one, is now turning his gaze towards you. The thought sends shivers down your spine. Some believe that when a person dies, their spirit lingers, trying to find peace. They may hover around, seeking closure or attempting to communicate with the living, and sometimes, in their confusion and despair, they might accidentally pull a loved one along with them. The idea of being drawn into the afterlife by a lost soul is both terrifying and heartbreaking. Others say it's simply the universe's way of preparing you for your own mortality, a stark reminder that life is fleeting and precious. It's a nudge to live fully, to cherish every moment. Whatever the reason, the death of a close one can be a deeply unsettling experience, forcing us to confront our own mortality and the fragility of life. It makes us question our existence and the meaning of it all. It's a stark reminder that death can come for us all at any time without warning. we are left to ponder the mysteries of life and death and the thin veil that separates the two. The world is a mysterious place, full of unexplained phenomena and ancient beliefs that continue to fascinate and frighten us. These 6 signs, rooted in folklore and whispered superstitions, offer a glimpse into the darker side of our collective consciousness, a reminder of our own mortality and the unseen forces that might be at play in our lives. But remember, these are just stories, passed down through generations. Whether you choose to believe them or not is entirely up to you. Perhaps they're nothing more than old wives' tales, a way to make sense of the chaos of the world. Or perhaps, just perhaps, there's a grain of truth to these ancient beliefs, a whisper of something more profound lurking beneath the surface. What do you think? Have you ever experienced any of these signs? Share your thoughts and experiences in the comments below. Let's explore the mysteries of life and death together.